Alright, YouTube, if you diecast collectors out there, one of the things I'm into in my personal life, or that I have been into growing up in Colorado, is four-wheeling and off-road. So I'm pretty I'm not into it like I was since being married and having a family. But I do, the whole point of this is just off-road vehicles. So I'm going to show you some of the premium detailed stuff that I've got. This is just a nice green light Jeep Wrangler. It's pretty alright. Here's another green light Jeep Wrangler. I'd love to see them put one of these out with a lift kit. I'd also love to see the Unlimited in this scale. They make a nice, they really do make a nice Jeep. Really, really sharp looking. I've got a whole bunch of these green light Jeeps. This is the last one I'm going to show in this video. So I've got a lot of cool stuff I'd like to get through here. Definitely a casting that they do well with. They do well with a lot of their stuff. Most of it, I would say. Let's do a couple of these. Also from Greenlight, the Ford Bronco. This is just a basic stock version. Really cool truck though. Nice prototypical wheels. Awesome detail. So that's your Greenlight stock Ford Bronco. Here's your Greenlight custom off-road machine Ford Bronco. That thing is just bad. So I have 28 different Greenlight Ford Broncos. So that is a video that is coming very soon. I really like the Firestone one though. This thing is really cool. Really cool looking. Here's a different brand. This particular brand only has a small handful of what I would consider off-road vehicles, or vehicles that you could take off-road. This is a Nissan Safari. Was never commercially available in the US. Very popular vehicle overseas in a lot of different countries. By its name, I'm sure you could tell it's a pretty rugged vehicle. It's a huge truck. It's about the size of a Suburban. But Tomica Limited Vintage, they make amazing diecast. So I really dig that one there. I'm going to pull another one up because I forgot to get one, so I'm going to go grab it. While I go grab it, you can take a look at this Schuco, because that is a bad little truck right there. I always seem to forget to get this one. I always forget I have it. All right, thank you for standing by there. Anyways, this is the Schuco Land Rover. What is it? Yeah, this is the Defender. Man, this thing is awesome. Metal body, metal base, rubber tires with tread, full-size rubber spare on the back. Incredible detail. Though it does not have lens taillights, it does have lens headlights, and really don't spare any expense on the detail. So the fact that the taillights are painted is okay by me. It's just an awesome truck. And then another premium one from Tomica Limited Vintage. This is one I always forget that I have. This is a Toyota Land Cruiser with the radio station livery on it. I would like to get a civilian livery, but man, they're pretty pricey. I think $50 is about the starting point. Really a beautiful casting though. I love it. So now we'll get into some Kyosho. I showed the orange one of these the other night. This is the same casting but blue. Kyosho FJ Cruiser. Kyosho kills it too. You know, that's the thing with the premium detailed diecast in this scale. There's not a lot of nice off-road stuff. Most of the nice stuff that's out there is domestic brands, so that's the good part about it. Here's another Kyosho that I have. One of my all-time favorite vehicles in real life, the Toyota Land Cruiser. They are just built so well. Tanks. They're very expensive because they are very well made. I love it. I wish Kyosho would do some of the earlier generations. Mine, I think, is like two generations before this one. I have a 99. That's a Lexus. And that's the crazy thing. The Land Cruisers are like, the demand for them is so crazy that it's cheaper to get the Lexus. This thing is sweet though. I do like it. Alright, so that's it for the import stuff. The rest of this is going to be just domestic diecast, starting with this Johnny Lightning Chevy Tahoe. Pretty awesome truck, great looking truck. Johnny Lightning, when they do it right, they really do a good job. I mean, that thing, this looks killer. I do have this in 3 colors. I have the blue, the white, and the silver. A lot of these I have like multiple variations, but I'm not going to show all of the variations. Like this one here, for example, I have 6 or 7 different liveries or colorways. This is the Racing Champs 1980 Ford Bronco. Very awesome. Awesome truck. While I have this one out, I will I'll bring out the green light real quick just to show you the difference between 13 years. So on the left you have the 1967, on the right you have the 1980. These are both really close to scale accuracy. So you can see how much bigger the Ford Bronco got. Got quite a bit bigger. But this, as nice as the Johnny Lightning F-150 is that just came out, this thing is almost equally as nice. Not quite, almost. The wheels are very weak on this casting. Outside of the bad wheels, it is a very nice truck. Staying with Johnny Lightning, there is International Scout. Tire swapped with the Hot Wheels tires. I kept the Johnny Lightning wheels. So it's not drilled or anything like that. I just exchanged the tires. The tires that came on this were too small. Even these are borderline too small, but it looks way better with that knobby tire tread. Looks quite a bit better. So that's Johnny Lightning International Scout. Here's a Johnny Lightning Jeep Grand Wagoneer. This is another casting where the tires, they almost look a little too small. So what I've done to help make it look a little better is I turned the tires around so the white wall is inside. I just don't like the real thin white wall. I think it looks quite a bit better. This is a cool casting though. Really nice detail. Opening tailgate. And I actually had one of these when I was 20 years old. I paid $400 for it. It was a 1984. Had the Buick 360 V8 in it. The four-wheel drive didn't work, but it rode like a Cadillac. You could turn that thing with your pinky. I mean, it was awesome. I do like these. I think they look really good when they're clean. And if you've ever seen one of these lifted, they look so awesome. I mean, really, all it is a four-wheel drive station wagon. But Johnny Lightning, I think, did a great job on this casting. And there's some coming out that look really good from the Gone Fishing series. I look forward to grabbing at least one of those, if not both of them. Also from Green Light, this is the Dodge Ram Charger from the All-Terrain series. I'm waiting for Green Light to put this out with a lift on it. Also the C10. Those are the two castings that they really need to lift. It would just look, this thing would just look killer with the lift kit. So would the Cheyenne. So that's a really cool casting. This one here is the same tooling. It's not a Ram Charger though, it's a Plymouth Trail Duster. This is a pretty early County Roads release. Pretty, almost impossible to find. I mean, you would be hard pressed to go onto eBay and find this one. Just, it doesn't come up very often. I think it's probably the nicest looking one too that they've done. If it's not the nicest, it's definitely one of them. The top on it is removable. It's actually, I'll show you here. It's a removable top, and it's also interchangeable. Doesn't line up great on this one, but you can see it just looks so much better with the top. Even this one with a black top, that looks killer. That looks awesome. So I'm sure it's more than anything else just a cost-cutting measure to leave the top off, because the last few of these that they brought out have been topless, which sometimes topless is a good thing, but in this case not so much. Alright, so I got a few more to get through here. Here's one, a recent release from Johnny Lightning. It's the same tooling as this beast is here, but you can see how much nicer they got with these new releases. And I would really like to see one of these with this authentic stock livery on a suspension lift. I think that would look awesome. But even without that, they look killer. These liveries that they're putting out, and I think they're all stock color options. But, I mean, check out these white Steelies. They just look fantastic. These International Scouts are just awesome trucks. And then my newest addition is the school bus yellow, in air quotes, because it's more of an orange color. It's actually like an orange creamsicle color, but from what I understand, there is actually an orange one out there. There's quite a few of these that they've brought out lately, and it's actually coming out in the hitch and tow as well. So this and the Grand Wagoneer, man, there's going to be some good hitch and tows to pick up. One thing about this, the top is plastic and kind of delicate, so if you were to drop this, there's a good chance you're going to snap the top off, so you got to be careful with that, because I guess it's subjective, but in my opinion, they look way better with the top. As do the Chevy Blazers, as do the Ram Chargers that we just looked at. I just think they look better with the top. Really cool trucks, though. I would like to have all of those, just as I would like to have all of these. But, you know, they're kind of pricey. I mean, on eBay, you can't get them for less than 10 bucks. Another Johnny Lightning casting, another very well done Johnny Lightning casting, is the K5 Blazer. My only real complaint with this is I think it's a little bit small to scale, but then in the grand scheme of all of Johnny Lightning's castings, I think they're all a little bit small for 1:64 scale. But this looks great. I mean, you could put this next to a Greenlight C10 and they look equally as realistic, in my opinion. But it's another one I'd really like to see them bring out lifted. They did bring it out here with the Gone Fishing, where it does have bigger tires, wider tires, which helps with the stance. Gives a little bit of a taller stance. So I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it does sit a smidgen taller. The picture looks like the green one does, but I assure you that's not the case. And they have radial tires on it. And I saw Johnny Lightning just in the last release with that old, I think it's like a late 60s, early 70s Chevy pickup. They have the all-terrain TAs on that. So all of their 4x4s that they're putting out, you don't put radials on a 4x4. So I really want to see them start putting the all-terrains on all of these off-road trucks, including the International Scouts, which currently they have the Goodyear Wrangler all-terrains, so that's not too bad. But personally, I'm a BF Goodrich guy when it comes to off-road tires. My Lexus has the BF Goodrich all-terrains on it. To me, I've had a lot of different all-terrain tires, and nothing has even come close. The worst was the Yokohama all-terrains. Those things, they're cheaper. They're a lot cheaper, but yeah, you get what you pay for. I'm sure Yokohama makes pretty good street tires, but for off-road truck tires, I got 34,000 miles out of them. And right after that, I put the BF Goodrich on that. I had a 4Runner. It was a 99 4Runner. Right after that, I put the BFGs on it, and at 38,000 miles, they still had over half an inch of tread left. So definitely get more mileage out of the BF Goodrich. But a couple of really cool castings from Johnny Lightning, and I've got a few of these on the way. It's another casting. I wouldn't mind having all of the variations. So that brings it down to the last two, which are also Johnny's. You know, as I look at this collection, the bulk of it is Johnny Lightning. They really do make a nice little assortment of off-road vehicles. These Cherokees are no exception. These are kind of tough to find and pretty expensive when you do find them, regardless of which one you get, because they had 6 or 7 of these different variations and colors. Most of them had rubber tires. Some of them, at least 1 or 2 of them, had plastic tires. But they're $20, $25 a piece. Although this one here, the other day on eBay, I saw there was a guy selling these loose for like $12 shipped. And that might have actually been the guy that I got this from. But I think that's a really good price for this Jeep. Awesome looking off-road truck right there. And then last but not least, this is one of Johnny Lightning's many classic castings that they put out. Another very expensive one to get. The Toyota BJ40 Land Cruiser. So nicely done. Just an awesome truck. Now I had this in dark blue. I actually still have it, but Champion DJK drilled out the headlights and made it into a headlight custom. It's awesome. So this is basically the predecessor to this, and you can see a lot of the inspiration that they took from this and put into this, the similarities with the front end, and I think I can kind of see it throughout the whole thing. But they're great off-road trucks. As a salesman of Toyota, the big issue people had with this, because Toyota has die-hard followers. I mean, they have like people that are like cult followers of their stuff, and they would come in, and the big complaint that the enthusiasts had about this is it had a killer blind spot because of this panel here. And that was a big complaint. You know, they would say when you're on a tight trail trying to fit into a tight space, or you're in a sticky situation, it's just a bad blind spot to have. But other than that, they're very aggressive. And, I mean, there's not a lot of places they won't go. But this is like one of the most iconic safari off-road vehicles ever. I mean, it's right up there with the old Land Rovers and stuff like that. So anyways, that is the assortment of off-road vehicles that I figured I would show. Some of my favorite stuff to collect is this type of stuff, and it's just not a lot of it out there. But with what Johnny Lightning is doing lately, there is more of it coming out all the time. So I am pretty happy about that. Do a quick little once over. Give you a sneak peek of tomorrow's Greenlight Ford Bronco video. Got quite a few of those. A couple more on the way. I think overall I would have to give the highest score with the off-road vehicles to Johnny Lightning, because hands down they have the best selection and the best quality of what they do put out. Just waiting on Kyosho to put out a 98 or a 99 Land Cruiser. I'd also like to see like a 1985 or 1986 Land Cruiser. That would be awesome. I think, I don't know if we'll ever see it though, because none of these brands are putting any money into licensing new castings. The brands that are, Greenlight recently did it a little bit, so did M2. They're all doing the JDM stuff, so we're not going to see, I mean, I don't think we're going to see anything new in the way of castings from Johnny Lightning, because they have so much nice old stuff that they can bring back that I just don't, I'd be shocked if, you know, I don't think it'll be 10 years before we see something like that, if ever. But I would love to see either Kyosho or Greenlight or Johnny bring out a Toyota off-road set. Kyosho, it would be ideal for Kyosho because they've already got a little start here. And they might even have more. I'm actually not sure. But, yeah. I mean, we see Matchbox doing it with, they did it with Jeep, and then they did it with Land Rover. And now I think this year it's more of like a mixed up set where there actually is a Land Cruiser in that series. But I think Matchbox would be the brand that we would be most likely to see it from, because they have a 4Runner casting, they have a Land Cruiser casting, so they do have some Toyota licensing, but Matchbox is not the brand I want to see it from. So anyways, that's a half-hour video. I'm going to call it done. I will holler at the next video. You all have a good Friday.